This is one of the best days of my life. And I'm not even exaggerating. The Mummy is returning with Brendan Fraser. I mean, what news is better than that? The Mummy 4, Radio Silence directing Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz in long-awaited sequel. I started seeing this popping up on social media last night. I almost lost my damn mind. I grew up in the early 2000s with these Mummy films, and they are some of the best films I've ever seen. Just pure action adventure type movies. The humor, the heart, the action scenes, everything about it is so great. It's got everything you could possibly need in one film. And Brendan Fraser, the guy is just incredible, man. And in recent years, this guy is an acting powerhouse. If you have not seen his movie The Whale, it may not be up your street. It's a dramatic movie called The Whale with Brendan Fraser. It's got Sadie Sink in it as his daughter. It's an emotional, powerful, resonant movie, and it shows the acting talent of Brendan Fraser. I do recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it. But anyway, getting back to this, The Mummy is returning with Brendan Fraser. I still can't believe it. I'm going to lose my mind, and I wanted to jump on camera and talk about this for you guys, because I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way that I do. Okay, so by the way, they have to have a cameo of Dwayne Johnson as the Scorpion King. And they have to keep the crappy CGI. You remember how bad that CGI was in that Mummy film? When Dwayne Johnson's Scorpion King appears. And the CGI is so bad. It was like one of the worst CGI, one of the worst CGI characters ever put into a large-scale movie. And they have to bring back that exact same character model with the exact same CGI of Dwayne Johnson just as a cameo. People would just lose their minds. It would be so funny. But let's start breaking down this news here and see what's going on. So, the Brendan Fraser-led Mummy franchise that kicked off in 1999 is coming back to life with a brand new movie starring Brendan Fraser, The Hollywood Reporter reports this afternoon. Both Brendan Fraser and franchise co-star Rachel Weisz are coming back for The Mummy 4. With Radio Silence duo Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett from the Scream franchise and Ready or Not. By the way, Ready or Not was a great movie. Check that out if you haven't seen it. Directing the first installment in the adventure horror franchise since 2008. The Hollywood Reporter details in their report, one source describes the project as not a reboot, but rather a sequel that would disregard the events of the third movie. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So they're going to disregard the third movie, and it's going to be a direct sequel to the second movie. Okay, so that's a bit of interesting news there. We're going to go 1, 2, disregard 3, and then this Mummy 4 is basically going to be the Mummy 3. Yeah, kind of strange. I wonder why they're doing that. That's a bit of a strange way to go about things, but I'm sure they have a plan in mind. Okay, David Cogshaw, I think that's Cogshaw. I'm not sure how you say that. From Orphan vs. Kill wrote the screenplay for the new movie. Before Tom Cruise was cast in a similar role as part of Universal's failed Dark Universe. Let's just go off on a tangent for a second. You remember they had that whole Dark Universe planned where they were going to do like 7 or 8 different movies of all the universe monsters. They were going to have The Mummy, Frankenstein, Invisible Man, all of those kind of classic movies. And they brought out the first Tom Cruise Mummy movie of that new Dark Universe, and it basically fell flat, flopped on its face, and then they disregarded the whole Dark Universe. Although that Tom Cruise Mummy film was a bit of a disaster, I think there were some redeeming moments, and there were some good parts of it, there were, but unfortunately, it wasn't good enough to keep the interest of the audience, and it just fell flat on its face, like I say. So, it was of course Brendan Fraser who was the lead in the Mummy franchise, starring as the heroic Rick O'Connell in The Mummy Returns, and The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, between 1999 and 2008. Fraser led the films to massive box office success, a level of success that Tom Cruise-led reboot just wasn't quite able to achieve more recently. The Fraser-led Mummy franchise was a massive success, with the 1999 film outgrossing the 2017 film, even when its numbers aren't adjusted for inflation. That is absolutely insane when you think about it. Brendan Fraser outgrossed Tom Cruise, and you don't even have to adjust the numbers for inflation, and still outgrossed Tom Cruise's Mummy film. That's kind of crazy when you think about the star power that Tom Cruise has, and Brendan Fraser outgrossed him. That's kind of crazy. Even the lowest grossing movie in Fraser's trilogy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, scared up a worldwide total of 403 million. With nostalgia for the trilogy on the rise, The Mummy 4 could be huge for Universal. Stay tuned for more Brendan Fraser's return as Rick O'Connell as we learn it. So yeah, with that down, talking about that box office number, let's quickly go over to the numbers. Let's check out the Mummy franchise and let's see how much each of the movies actually made. So, landing over here on the numbers, we have the Mummy franchise. Let's check out how much at the box office each of the movies made. So, we have the first Mummy movie. It came out on May the 7th, 1999. Production budget was 80 million and it made 422 million. That is insane. That's a great return right there. Then we have The Mummy Returns, May the 4th, 2001. $98 million production budget, so they upped the production budget for the second film. That made 435 million, so it's almost pretty much exactly the same as what the first movie made. Then we have The Scorpion King with Dwayne Johnson that came out in 2002. $60 million budget. That made 165. Then we have The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, 2008. $175 million production budget. Wow, they really upped the production budget for that movie. And it made 405 million. So, I mean, each of these movies with Brendan Fraser is making over 400 million each. If we look at the actual total here, so the total of the production budget is 413 million for all of the films, and they made in return 1.4 billion. So this is $1 billion franchise. I mean, these movies generate a lot of money. You think about the nostalgia and the love for Brendan Fraser has only got stronger over the years since the last film came out in 2008. All of that nostalgia, all of that love for the action adventure and the kind of the fondness of those Mummy movies, bringing it back could be a stroke of genius. In this next movie, if it's done right and they keep the goofy tone, the action adventure, comedy, goofy tone, absolutely, man, this could reignite the fan base and this could do incredibly well for itself. But they got to keep the budget in check. They have to make sure that the budget is reasonable. Don't come out of the gate with a $250 million budget and then expect to make, you know, ridiculous sums of money to be profitable. You know, keep it reasonable. Keep it $100 million production budget, even like $60 or $70 million production budget. Then we're being reasonable. Then we can expect to make a profit. But if they make a $200 million budget movie here, I don't expect that's going to be profitable. They need to be sensible with it, and I hope that they are. Okay, so with that down, with that article and looking at the box office of the franchise, let's just go over to social media and check out a few posts, and let's see what some people are saying in regards to this news story here. So, landing over here, Bloody Disgusting, The Return of the King, and then we've got a great shot there of Brendan Fraser. Just seeing that image of him there from The Mummy, it just warms my heart. Like I said, growing up in the early 2000s, watching these films as a kid, I absolutely loved them, man. They were so fun. They were just so fun movies. And seeing him there just warms my heart. Maybe it's not the right place, but George of the Jungle was so funny too, all because of him. Bring that back too. I'd be up for that. All the Brendan Fraser, man. Give me all the Brendan Fraser. I love the guy. I really do. You guys have no idea how freaking amazing this is. I used to fall asleep to both Mummy movies on VHS when I was a teenager. So freaking excited for this. Oh, we know. Yeah, I was exactly the same. I remember, like, I have this vivid remember on Christmas Eve when they were showing a Mummy film on TV. And I remember opening up my presents early on Christmas Eve. Then I watched The Mummy on TV, and I remember falling asleep to The Mummy a few times as well. Not because it was bad, but I was a young kid, and I remember watching the films, laying in bed, and like, just, yeah, fantastic. So glad to have him back. It's what the world needs. We need the whole family back. This movie is going to be like the last Indiana Jones. I really hope not, because that movie was awful. Just what we needed. I love and approve this reference. Heavily needed this. I will say, to keep expectations tempered, I love Brendan, but his body took a beating and he's nearly 60. He won't be flying around in this movie. Yeah, but I mean, if they've got a plan for him to come back, obviously the guy's a lot older now than he was. I'm sure they're gonna, you know, make sure that he's got a great acting part in this movie that's not too physical, stuff that he can actually do. or they can just replace his stunt scenes with a stunt double or a CGI version of him. There's so many ways you can get around the stunt scenes filming if you're clever, if you're a clever director and cinematographer. So I don't think his age is going to be too much of an issue. But they have to bring the comedy, they have to bring the campiness, they have to keep the tone the same. If they change the tone, then it's going to throw people off, and I don't think it could be successful otherwise. Okay, Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz will return for the new Mummy movie. Okay, let's go down. We don't need this. Absolutely we do. All of us who grew up on these movies getting this notification. Just crying. Absolutely. We're just, bring back the whole gang. They better bring him and Dimwit brother back. As Hal now, with his pot belly. Rachel Weisz, Evelyn Carnahan, returning to the Mummy franchise. This might just be the best day of my life. I will say this, the Mummy 1 was set during the 20s, so the 20-year jump would be 1940, so logically their son could basically be Indiana Jones. That's kind of weird, isn't it? The duel in The Mummy returns between Rachel Weisz and Patricia Valqueras. Yeah, so you pretty much get the picture there. There's a lot of people that are excited about this. The Mummy 4 will be a continuation of The Mummy 2, ignoring the events of Mummy 3, kind of like we talked about in the article. Then why is it called 4? It's not called Mummy 4, it's just me saying the title. What the fuck happened in Mummy 3? It's very fashionable these days to make movies that ignore their sequels. What if Michael Bay's new Transformers movie ignores Transformers 4 and 5? It is a sequel to Dark of the Moon. So I'm guessing Alex will be a child, or will they age him up like they did in Tomb of the Dragon Emperor? Somehow Imhotep returned. Need another scene like this. Yeah, that duel between those two women was absolutely fantastic. But there we go, guys. So that's kind of what's happening. Brendan Fraser coming back to the Mummy franchise with Rachel Weisz. This is absolutely incredible news. I could not be more excited for this. I hope it does well at the box office, and I hope that we get a new string of movies. Potentially a trilogy if the first movie does good. But all the Brendan Fraser. Give me all the Brendan Fraser, and I think I'll be happy. But guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this news. Are you as excited as me? Did you grow up with these movies in the 90s and 2000s like I did? And what do you think about it? Is it a good idea? Bad idea? Whatever you think, let me know in the comment section. As always, thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys in the next video.